Hello everyone, Jeff with the Green Review here. Plants growing outdoors are affected by weather. By understanding weather, we can make appropriate plant and growing technique choices to help our plants thrive. There's a great deal of public commentary about Earth's climate these days. The climate on Earth is always changing on a planetary scale, on a regional or continental scale, and on a microclimate scale in our own yard. The climate and weather in both large and small scales are influenced by the intensity and duration of sunshine. Globally, sunshine creates low-pressure systems of warm, moist air that rise into the atmosphere from near the equator and head towards both poles. These systems are hundreds of miles across and many miles thick. As the air reaches the higher latitudes, it cools, loses its moisture, and sinks towards the ground, creating dry, high-pressure air systems. These giant cool puddles of air slide back down the surface of the globe towards the equator. The climates of the planets in our solar system are affected by the amount of sunshine produced by the sun and the amount that contacts the planet. The sun's output varies, and the amount of light hitting the surface, land, and water areas varies with cloud cover. The effect of the sunlight varies depending on the angle and the surface covering. Snow and ice like this reflect more sunlight than plants and water. In the same way, in the microclimates of our yards, sunshine heats our paved areas and buildings, causing warm air to rise. Urban areas have more buildings and pavement that absorb more heat than natural and agricultural areas. Urban areas are known as heat islands, and they're warmer in both summer and winter than surrounding suburban and rural areas. As lawns and landscape plants evaporate water from their leaves, they cool the air because the water in the leaves takes heat from the air to turn liquid water into gaseous water. Urban areas are increasingly using plants on rooftops to reduce the amount of the sun's heat from hitting buildings. The heat island effect causes stress on plants when the temperature gets too high, especially combined with the small soil volume and tiny root system that most plants have in urban areas. Every urban tree will be experiencing different amounts of stress based on all of the environmental factors, not just the heat island effect. The more pavement around a tree roots, the worse off the tree will be. Other climate and weather aspects such as precipitation patterns, temperatures, wind speed, and wind direction are influenced by large geographic features such as mountains, hills, and lakes, to small things in our yards such as a fence or hedgerow and shade trees. Not only are plants best placed in their proper plant-to-environment balance thrive range, but plants can be used to change the environmental microclimates of your landscape. A shade tree that blocks sunlight from reaching pavement or buildings will reduce the heat that sunshine would have created. Evergreens can be used to block winter winds. Urban trees help reduce the heat island effect, produce oxygen, consume pollution, slow rain runoff, and provide habitat for wildlife. The heat island effect is not uniform across an urban area. Walk down the street, and when you're in the shade of a tree or a building, you'll be cooler than when you're in the direct sunshine. Park areas are cooler than paved areas and buildings. Trees in paved areas will have more heat stress and more insect and disease problems than the same kind of tree growing in a park just a block away. Street trees have tiny root systems. The root-to-shoot balance means the top stays balanced with roots, so urban trees are very small when compared to forest trees. They also have much shorter lifespans, measured in years, not decades. In spite of the problems urban plants have because they can't grow in the best thrive conditions, we need their help to moderate the effects of weather and climate in our landscapes. And this is Jeff for the Green Review. Thanks for watching.